I thought back on what Hichikata-san had said. It was true that Sun and Sun had been acting strange, and the Fury Corps had been getting more and more violent. There was a lot on my mind, but what worried me the most was the Furies. Just as Hichikata-san had predicted, the Shinsengumi received an official request to guard the notice board at the Sanjo Ohashi Bridge. As it turned out, the vandals were 8 men from the Tosa domain. Harada and his divisions were well prepared, and captured them when they attacked at the Kamo River. Harada was given a reward by the Aizu for his service, and he took the rest of the captains to Shimabara to celebrate. I had remained at the temple to eat my dinner alone, but my heart felt like a lead weight in my chest, and it chased away any appetite I might have had. What's going to happen to the Shinsengumi and the Fury Corps? Almost as if on cue, the door slid open and Sanan-san stepped through. Oh, hello, Sanan-san. Can I help you?
こんばんは。今日は港島原へ出かけなかったのですか?
I'm not that great with drinking parties, so...
なるほど。
Sanan-san nodded in understanding, and his eyes beamed with color as he gazed at me. Not glazed. The cold full moon was visible, and maybe it was because of the nighttime, but Sanan-san's eyes possessed a tint of danger. No. Sanan-san.
君はどう思っていますか? 例の薬、落ち水のこと。
What do you mean?
あの薬は素晴らしいと、そう思いませんか? 私が左腕を負傷し、薬を飲むことになったのも、すべてはこの薬をさらに完璧なものへと改良せしめるためだった。そう思えてならないのです。
Sanan-san's words slithered creepily, and I couldn't bring myself to stop staring at the floor to hide from his line of sight. His expression was so unfamiliar and nefarious, almost as if he was being possessed by something.
どうしたのです? 私の言葉を肯定してくれないのですか? あの素晴らしい薬をこの新選組に持ち込んだ光道さんの娘の君が。
It was obvious that Sanan-san was not acting as his usual self.
なぜ何も言わないのです? もしや君も松本先生と同じように薬の実験をやめさせようなどと思っているのではないでしょうね。
I just remembered. I have some chores that need doing, so I'll be... Just as I was on my way out,
待ちなさい。
he roughly grabbed onto my wrist and yanked me. I pulled against his grip, but he was far too strong for me to overcome. Please stop! The horrible twitching madness in his eyes was too much for me, and I screamed.
女の子の手首を掴んで何してるんですか、三男さん。彼女怖がってるみたいですよ。
意見を求めていただけですよ。少々熱が入りすぎましたが。
On the other side of his glasses, Sanan-san's eyes returned to normal. The glint of madness was gone. While he felt relieved, Sanan-san had walked off as the others were walking in. And I watched him walk off. I looked back at Okita and the men. It's good to see you back. You're a little earlier than I expected, though. I was expecting you guys to come way later.
佐野さんと新八さんは朝まで帰ってこねえと思うぜ。 さすがに俺は体力が持たなさそうなんで途中で抜けてきたけどさ。
It's only the three of you then?
へへへ。
What's the matter?
土方さんは住谷にいた君菊って芸妓さんに気に入られたみたいだぜ。宴会の最中ずっと隣にくっつかれてたからな。
Kimi Giku.
ああ、すっげえ綺麗な人だったぜ。
そんなに綺麗だったっけ？
綺麗だったって。つうかあんな高そうな人呼んじまった佐野さんの懐が心配だよ。
そう、僕女の人の良し悪しってよくわからないな。
One of Kyoto's geigi, huh? She was probably just as beautiful as Heisuke said. They must have made a beautiful couple. I gazed down at myself, small, plain, and dressed like a boy. Suddenly I felt very sad.
どうかしたのか。暗い顔をしているようだが。
No, it's nothing.
疲れているようだな。そろそろ我々は出た方が良さそうだ。それではな、雪村。ゆっくり休め。
I will, thank you. Sato-san must have been looking out for me. As Heisuke began to leave my room, something brought him to an abrupt halt, and he turned to me.
まあ、三男さんの様子、近頃ますますおかしくなってねえか。
The two were silent, restrained by mixed emotions. Eventually, they both left the room. Even the captains who were with the Shinsengumi since Edo were beginning to grow suspicious of Sanan-san. I wonder what's going to happen from now on. After that, the rest of the warriors who'd gone to Shimabara returned, and they told me in great detail about the Sanjo notice board incident, but out of everything I'd heard, there was one thing in particular that caught my attention. They told me that when Harada and his men had been attacked at Sanjo Ohashi, one of them had seen someone who looked a lot like me. This strange person had tried to impede the Shinsengumi and sided with the vandals from the Tosa domain. I haven't left the temple, of course, and even if I had been at Sanjo Ohashi, I would never have tried to get in the Shinsengumi's way. But if it wasn't me, then who? What could it mean? This news only fed the anxiety that had been slowly building within me. 1867, March. March 1867. With the beginning of the new year came the end of Kyoto's harsh freezing winter. A bright sun shone in the sky, and for the first time in a long while, I felt the warmth of its rays. There was no question, it was a beautiful afternoon.
おお、雪村くん、今日はいい天気だな。
There you are. I hurried over toward him. Oh, hello, Inoue-san. Are you here with Kondo-san?
ああ、ちょっと境内をぐるりと散歩してきたのさ。
本当は外に出たいんだが、勝手に豚舎を離れてしまっては年が起こるだろうからな。
You're probably right. He sounded so adorable when he said it like that. I couldn't help but laugh.
おう、ところで雪村くんはどうして境内にいるんだ？
掃除か何かをしているようには見えないんだが。
Right, Hijikata-san sent me to find you, Kondo-san.
なんと手間をかけたな。トシは何か言っていたか？俺にどんな用があるだとか。
He didn't. I shook my head and Kondo-san frowned slightly in thought.
まさか 掃除のことじゃないだろうが。
My heart jumped.
掃除のこと？何かやらかしたのかい？
そうじゃないんだが、最近調子が悪いだろう。風邪も長引いているようだし、トシが気にしているらしくてな。
はは、トシさんは心配性なところがあるからな。
I didn't feel right trying to assert myself in the conversation, so I kept my mouth shut and listened. Okita didn't have a cold. He had tuberculosis. How many people even knew the truth? Was I really the only person Was I really the only person in his confidence, however accidental?
まあ、とにかく行ってみるか。伝えてくれてありがとう、雪村君。
I guess I'll be going back to my room.
ご苦労様、雪村君。
I bowed to both of them, turned around, and headed back. My mind was a whirlwind of thoughts as I made my way to my room. Then, out of nowhere...
あれ、こんなところでどうしたの？
Huh? My head snapped up at the sound of his voice. I spun around to find him sitting on the steps, looking at me. But there was something that caught my attention. Ah! His hair is completely down for once. Fuck! I have to admit, he looks fucking adorable looking like that. I can't help it. Fuck!
どうかしたの？僕がここにいると意外？そんな顔されると心外かな。僕がお化けか何かみたいだし。
You! He tilted his head back and laughed, his hair blowing softly in the breeze. It was a very different sort of look for him, which was enough to unbalance me, but it was also quite clear he'd just come from a bath. Why are you outside dressed like that? And your hair is wet!
今日は珍しく暖かいし、日向ぼっこも悪くないよ。
But aren't you still sick?
うん。おかげさまで熱はちゃんと下がったみたい。
That doesn't mean it's okay for you to...
寝てる間に汗かいちゃったし、さっき一風呂浴びてきたんだ。そしたら涼みたくなって、ここに腰を落ち着けたところ。
I don't care how nice the weather is. It's still March! You're going to give yourself another cold.
ねえ、君って意外と口うるさくて、しかも変に心配性で。
What is this comment, Soji?
土方さんみたいだね。
I wasn't quite sure what to say about that. Neither do I! Although I was beginning to understand how Hijikata-san likely felt. What are you doing? He looked up, already halfway through tying back his still damp hair. Damn, that's a sentence. You have to dry your hair or your head's going to get cold. I will admit, I don't dry my hair and I still put my hair up. I grabbed his towel and began to scrub his head.
ねえ、強引って言われない？
Well, I don't think I always am. I'm probably pushy because I'm dealing with you.
君ってこんな子だっけ？もっとおとなしかった気がするんだけど。
Fuck you, Okita. I ground my teeth. He knew he was sick, but he wasn't taking care of himself at all.
もういいよ。ほとんど乾いたみたいだし。
I wish this was a scene that we saw, damn it. Hey! He ducked out from under my hands and quickly tied his hair up. I stared at him, at a loss for words. He frowned a little and turned away.
いきなり黙り込まれたら反応に困るんだけど。まだ文句が言い足りない？それとも僕に用でもある？
No, it's not that. I meant... Yep, it's, you're really good with your hands. I was just thinking that you're pretty good with your hands. You tied your hair up so quickly.
別に器用でもないと思うよ。ただ慣れてるだけじゃないかな。この髪型に結い上げるのだって何度練習したかわからないし。
He stopped mid-sentence and turned to stare at me. What's wrong?
ちょっといい？一つ質問したいんだけど。
Hmm?
うん。別に深い意味はないから気楽に答えてくれて大丈夫。あのさ、僕の髪型どう思う？
What? It was the last thing I could ever imagine hearing from Okita, or any of the captains for that matter. But he looked entirely serious, so I did my best to answer honestly. I think it looks good. I don't know quite how to explain it, but it's very you.
そっか。よかった。ありがとう。
No problem. I found myself blush at his smile. Just calling it like I see it. I don't think you really need to thank me for that.
でも嬉しかったからお礼を言いたくなったんだよ。お礼ついでに僕の秘密も教えてあげちゃおうかな。
Hmm?
僕の髪型って近藤さんの真似してるんだ。
He looked somewhere halfway between proud and embarrassed. Yeah. I didn't realize it before, but it does look like his.
他の人には言わないでよ。絶対からかわれるだろうし。
Okay, sure. I wasn't used to seeing Okita so relaxed and easygoing. Perhaps he wasn't quite as cruel as I'd originally thought. The nervous feeling in my stomach that he usually caused was nowhere to be found. I'm sorry for bothering you like that. I'll just go back to my room. I spun around and walked away as quickly as I could. I'd climbed the stairs and was on my way down the hallway when I turned around to see him walking down the hall. He looked around furtively to see if anyone else was within earshot, then leaned in.
君、僕の体のこと 誰にも言ってないみたいだね。
Of course. I promised.
君が意外にも律儀な子だからちょっとびっくりしたよ。僕に義理立てする必要なんてどこにもないのに。
He looked almost sad. I didn't keep my promise because I felt like I owed you. I looked at him straight in the eyes as I said that. I mean, if I tell anyone, you'll kill me, right? I don't want to die, so I'll never tell anyone. Your secret's safe. His eyes narrowed, and for a few moments, he just looked at me.
そういう約束だったね。余計なことを言ってみんなを混乱させたら殺すからって。じゃあ君が死にたくないなら秘密は秘密のままに。
I know. I will. But I chose my words carefully. I know you're not just doing this to be stubborn, but if you want to do the things you want to do, you have to take care of yourself. Please.
さっきから気になってたんだけど、どうして君が僕を心配するの？
To be honest, I'm not really sure. There was no avoiding that he was a frightening man, and indeed often a cruel one as well, but I still found myself wanting desperately for him to live. I couldn't tell if it was just pity or something else.
よくわからない子だな。君って本当に。
Suddenly his voice seemed to choke itself off and he hunched forward. I felt that. Jesus. And by that I mean when you have to stop and then cough. Ugh, I felt that. Okita! His body shook with each cough, and I ran toward him. But he shoved my hands away. Damn! Okay! Ugh.
勝手に触らないでくれる。僕は別に大丈夫なんだから。
But he turned away and stalked off down the hallway. It was easy to forget the disease that was even now eating away at Okita's body. He was, in all appearances, in fine health. That easy ignorance, however, was what made reminders of his condition all the more painful. I felt my hands tighten into fists as I stood there in the hallway, alone and helpless.